Avengers Infinity War left us with a lot of heartache, but more importantly, it has us wondering what the heck is in store with the still untitled Avengers 4. Marvel has made it clear they have no intention of revealing the title anytime soon. They want Infinity War to have its time to shine, and audiences their time to process everything that just happened. However, we do have a few ideas of what the title may be. Let me warn you now, this video will contain spoilers for Avengers Infinity War. If you still haven't seen it, first, let me say, that sounds awful. And second, get the heck out of here. Boom! Our first pick comes straight out of the comics. Avengers Disassembled was a crossover event that saw the traditional roster of Earth's mightiest heroes get destroyed and resulted in the creation of several new Avengers teams. While the MCU wouldn't adapt this storyline directly, which they never do, the Disassembled subtitle is still fitting. Avengers Endgame doesn't have a comic book counterpart to pull inspiration from, but is instead directly tied to Avengers Infinity War itself. You may remember when Doctor Strange handed over the Time Stone, he told Tony Stark they were now in the Endgame. He doesn't explain further, but before this all went down, Strange did use the stone to look through over 14 million possible futures and very dramatically pointed out that only one would see our heroes win. Right now, this seems like a very likely, albeit kind of cheesy title for Avengers 4. Another huge crossover event in the comics was Annihilation, which involved characters like Thanos, the Guardians of the Galaxy, the Silver Surfer, and Nova. It's a storyline that takes place away from Earth and solely on the cosmic side of Marvel's universe, so this wouldn't really be an adaptation. Avengers Annihilation just sounds badass, and who needs more of a reason than that?
Language.
Avengers Infinity Crusade is a similar guess in that the title itself just sounds cool. The comic storyline was a sequel to Infinity War, where Adam Warlock, who was teased at the end of Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, uses the power of the gauntlet to expel both the good and evil aspects of himself and become totally logical. While we don't know whether or not Adam Warlock will show up in Avengers 4, this specific storyline doesn't seem likely. But if the film sees our surviving heroes on a quest for the stones to try and undo the snap, Avengers Infinity Crusade works very well. Avengers 4 will mark the last movie in Phase 3 of the MCU, but more than that, Marvel Studios president Kevin Feige has said that it will also deliver a conclusion to the narrative that began all the way back with Iron Man in 2008. This conclusion will see the departure of many of our favorites and usher in a new era of Marvel's cinematic heroes. While New Avengers is maybe a little spoilery, you can't argue the fact that it is short, simple, and to the point. Now, I know what you're thinking, what about Infinity Gauntlet? It was a sequel to the Infinity War comic, and I've been hearing people talk about that being the title for like a year. What the heck kind of list is this? Yes, Avengers Infinity Gauntlet not only sounds cool, but is directly tied to Infinity War in the comics, but in a recent interview with Collider, Kevin Feige said his favorite wrong fan theory was that Avengers 4 would be called Avengers Infinity Gauntlet, stating, "That is definitely not what it is called." When we announce the title, I am not sure, but as I've probably said to you, it's gotten completely blown out of proportion. It will just be a name, and the reason to hold it back was to keep the attention on Infinity War. Well, there you have it. Hopefully it won't be too long of a wait for the name's reveal, but in the meantime, drop some of your ideas for the title in the comments below, and for more on all the entertainment you care about, subscribe to CinemaBlend.